Hi, Matt Crow here from Forever Young Studios and welcome to my morning mobility series. Today we have a fantastic one, animal flow functional movements, all about making the body work through full ranges of motion, a number of different dimensions that we're going to work on. Get into it, follow along, and as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like what you see and you want to see more. First up, we have the yoga squats. Standing about double shoulder width apart, either side of the mat is perfect. Turn your feet out 45 degrees, keeping a very good posture so the chest is up, the chin is in, head is tall, shoulders are back. Now drop straight down to the ground. Try and touch the ground with your palms or your fingertips. And then you're going to come up into a hamstring stretch, keeping good strong core, good strong back. And then you're going to go down again into as deep a squat as possible. While you're down there, you're going to lift one arm up and then the other arm up, and then stand up and really squeeze your shoulder blades back together. So it looks like this. Standing tall, go down into a deep squat, up into a hamstring stretch, lifting the bum, down into a deep squat. One arm up, stand tall, squeeze in a big round circle, shoulder blades together. 6 reps. Next one, we have the inchworm walkout with a step through and open book. Standing tall, walk your hands down your body out into a push-up position. Step your right leg through as far as you can, drop down to your knee. Try to get your chest down as far as you can to the ground whilst you're pushing your hips down. Breathing about 3 times down in that position. Then you're going to turn your inside arm and away and as tall as you can into an open book. Then you're going to come back into that push-up position. Step your left foot through as far as you can. Right knee goes down. Once again, you're trying to get down to your elbows here, really pushing your hips down, really trying to get your chest to the ground, getting that big long stretch through your hip flexor and the top of your hamstring. Roll that left hand to the sky into an open book position to get rotation. Bring it back down to push-up position, and then you're going to walk it all the way back up to your toes, up your body, and stretch to the ceiling, full extension through the body. And you're going to do it twice through, so once again, walk yourself down your body, trying to keep your legs as straight as you possibly can. Walk it out to your hands, step out, right foot goes out to the right finger, down onto the elbows, pushing your pelvis down, pushing your hips down, pushing your chest down, breathing through. Then you're going to roll that right arm to the sky, the inside arm, trying to get a good rotation through that upper back or middle back. Back into the hand and push-up position. Step through with the left leg. Knee goes down at the back, very important. Try and get down onto those elbows. Just breathe and relax and really trying to sink in. Roll that left hand to the sky into the open book. Pushing that left shoulder back. Bring it back into the push-up position and walk yourself back along the mat, back up your legs, reach to the sky. 2 reps through of this one. And breathe. This stretch is all about the groin, both upper and long adductors. So sitting up nice and square, nice tall posture, put one foot directly out the side, and we're going to push into it 3 times in a rocking motion, really getting that upper groin area. Then very importantly, we're going to put the foot flat on the ground, leg is straight, and going to sit your bum back and away into a long stretch, breathing and holding that stretch. Do it twice through each side. So the foot faces out to the side, the body is facing forward, and you're really lunging into that, opening up those groin muscles. And foot, very importantly, flat on the ground and leg absolutely straight. Sit as far back and deep into that stretch as you can. It's a very strong stretch, so you will feel it. 2 times each side, and the other side, 3 pulses. 1, 2, Nice and gentle. And 3. Turn the foot so it's flat, facing forward. Leg goes straight and you're sitting back and down. So basically we're getting from the top of the groin area right up near the pelvis to the long adductors on the inside of the hamstrings, inside of the leg. 3 rocks and adductor. Twice through this one, breathing at all times, really trying to get as much extension through that leg as possible. Next up is a fantastic glute lower back on an area called the QL, quadratus lumborum stretch, that side of the lower back. Setting up into what is a 90-90 position. So the front leg goes out and across, the back leg goes out and backwards. So you're in that 90-degree position with each leg. Then you're going to try and get your chest down towards the foot here, not towards the knee, but towards the foot. So you're trying to breathe in a little bit of a pulsing motion as you breathe in and out 3 times each side, trying to get the chest towards the foot. Now this is the important part. Hands go up and you're going to keep your feet where you are and roll your knees to the other side. So what this is, it makes your pelvis and those really tight connective tissue in amongst that pelvis area really work hard to try and mobilize. See that? Feet are still and the knees just roll over and flip over so you end up facing the other way. Takes a little bit of getting used to this one. You might need to use your hands to help you get from one side to the other to start with. But if you can, really try and not use your hands. Arms up, roll the feet over, roll the knees over. Go into that 90-degree position. Take your chest down and try and put it on the inside of your foot. Breathe, a little pulsing action is fine. 3 times each side. Really good one to get into those tight gristly areas in your pelvis, in your glutes, in your lower back. Make sure you persevere with this one and don't just take your chest out towards your knee. Now we have a very effective combo stretch which goes from your hip flexors to your hamstring. So setting up into that half kneeling position, the foot is up at the back so your toe is pointing down, posture is nice and tall, chest is up. And what we're going to do is push into our hip flexors so our pelvis is pushing forward and down towards our heel. And then without moving the heel, without moving the knee, try and pull back into that hamstring position. So you'll see when you push forward, your posture is upright, you're trying to tilt your pelvis back, trying to get your hip flexor. And then when your bum goes back, your leg goes completely straight. We hinge from the waist and the chest goes down towards the thigh and the knee. The toe is pointed to try and get that hamstring. Pay particular attention to the foot position on this one because it does make a difference. So when we push forward, pelvis is back, chest is up, foot is up at the back, driving that hip flexor down to the back of the heel. And notice I don't move my heel or my knee. Sit nice and upright, hinge, as opposed to just slump over and put your chest on your thigh. You're trying to hinge as much as you can. The toe remains completely pointed out the front for that hamstring stretch. You want to do this 3 times, so 3 hip flexor to 3 hamstring stretches each side. Notice I put that toe up at the back. Nice tall posture. I'm trying to lean back. I'm trying to get my pelvis to tilt back to accentuate that hip flexor. And then I go the other way. The toe points out the front. The leg is dead straight. Hinge from the waist. Breathe and relax. Now I'm flexible enough on this that I can put my hands on the ground. If that doesn't work for you, by all means get a bench either side of you or do it next to a couch so that you can lean on something. Once again, remember that trying to balance whilst you stretch is counterproductive. It doesn't work, right? You want to have lots of stability so your muscles feel comfortable and that they can relax and stretch. So hip flexor to hamstring, 2 key muscle groups, one at the front, one at the back. They work beautifully in concert together in this stretching routine. But as you can see, I'm keeping it nice and relaxed, nice and rhythmic. I'm not being too aggressive in any of the moves, just getting that body position in. Hip flexor, hamstring, pull back, hinge, breathe. And that's a good one. 3 of those each side. Now we have the deadly duo, the Cobra to Scorpion. Good names, but very simple start with this Cobra exercise. Everyone knows this as a yoga move. Lying on the ground, face down, put your hands either side of your chest, and you're simply trying to go up into a nice extension, keeping your belt line, almost your belly button, on the ground, and just seeing how much extension you can get through that lower and mid back. Then the hands go out the side, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. We're going to flick that foot and leg up and over like the sting in a scorpion's tail, and try and touch your hand. Gets a really unique stretch through that lower side back that you just don't get in any other way. So the hands are on the floor, the shoulders are on the floor, they're my anchor. Once again, breathing through gently, trying to get that foot and leg bent to try and get as much rotation up and to the side as I possibly can. Get that foot as close to the hands, which are directly out from the shoulders. 3 of those each side. 3 cobras, 3 scorpions. Works beautiful. Now to finish out this wonderful stretch sequence, we're simply going to lie on your back and rock your knees from side to side. Your feet are directly on top of each other. Your legs are bent 45 degrees. You're going to roll from one side to the other, keeping your arms and shoulders firmly on the ground. A nice rocking rotation from side to side. Breathe it out. It's a nice gentle way to get some mobilization through that lower back and mid-thoracic area. And then we're going to take it into a little bit more advanced and go into the egg beater side stretch. So you notice I put the legs straight up in the air, I'll swap them around, looks like a bit of an egg beater, and then the leg extends as far out and away from you as you can. Once again, very important to keep your shoulders and your hands firmly onto the floor so they are your anchor. And so your stretch point comes from your lower back and mid back, and a little bit through the outside of the hips and glutes as well. Swap them over each side, 3 to 5 of those each side, just to get some really good rotation into your workout. Then we're going to simply rock into a nice baby type pose where you grab your knees and then extend your legs, extend your toes, reach your hands to the very far end of the room. Big deep breath in and breathe out and stretch further and further, and then wind it down. If you love this routine, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube by clicking the button below. And if you want to find more about everything health, fitness, wellness and longevity, please make sure you follow me on my Instagram at Forever Young Studios Manly, the place to find out how to live an optimal life.